skills worthy of a general. And if you want to fight, fight with me. 1 to 1, man to man.
Hey folks, man, this is Monk. We are back with another episode of Classics of Cinematics. I'm joined as always my co-host Bobby Blockbuster.
Yo, yo, yo!
Today we got a special one, folks, man. We coming all the way from Shaolin with the 36 Chambers from 1978. And this film is directed by Lau Kar-leung and it stars Gordon Liu. But in this story, young student Liu is urged to rise against the Manchu oppression in China, but the revolution has disastrous consequences. Escaping the massacre, Liu seeks shelter in the Shaolin Temple, where the monks train him in their famous martial arts skills. Yeah, man, but this thing is a very special film, man. Often sampled by the Wu-Tang Clan, has great martial arts in it. A great story and crazy training sequences. We've got training sequences before in these type of films, but I think this film has some of the most ingenuitive and inspirational ones, man.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like this film, it embodies the essence of martial arts and everything that comes with it. It shows that it's more than just a fighting style, it's a lifestyle. As you know, they teach structure, discipline, physical strength, but also mental strength, mental toughness, and, you know, self-awareness, you know what I'm saying? And the ability to push yourself for the greater good within yourself, but then for those around you, man. It encapsulates all that through this story. I mean, this film is one of the best kung fu films for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the story is great, man. It's a revenge story. It's also a story about a character going to find justice. But in this film, you know, we've got this province that seems to have been taken over by this Manchu. These guys, and they're kind of oppressive rulers, man. Really cracking down on the people, kind of, overtaxing them, not giving them a lot of freedom. And we start this film off with a resistance movement, and we actually see some rebel fighters, led by a general, and they actually ambush this other general in an attempt to, take out their leader. Yeah. But they've been smart, so they send a decoy out there to lure these guys out, and they attack, and then they just get kind of slaughtered, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In this film, which causes a chain reaction. It causes them to go harder and suppress any type of rebel activity going on, which is primarily going on a lot with these students,
Yeah, well, because we find out that the teacher is actually the undercover agent, for the other rebellion force that's trying to, overthrow this current regime. UD, he pretty much determines that he needs to go to Shaolin to be taught Kung Fu so he can then bring the knowledge back to his village and they can actually defend themselves. What's cool about it too is it is loosely based on this guy, Santo, who apparently was around in, I think it was the 17th century. When you got movies like in this facet where they are wrapped around historical events, it just kind of enhances the story arc a little bit. We talked about that a little bit with the Indiana Jones situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So he, kind of goes and gets to the temple, and it's kind of interesting. He kind of smuggles himself in because, Shaolin Temple is notoriously closed off from the rest of the world. They really don't get involved with worldly affairs. They just stay and do their thing, their training, their martial arts, their meditation, and their philosophy. That's their whole life, essentially. So he comes in. It's kind of cool how he infiltrates, smuggle himself into the basket. And their first inclination is like, well, as soon as you heal up, you got to get out of here. Yeah. And he convinces them that he wants to become a monk and stay there and train. And they, entertain him. And then it, pretty much goes from there, man. Yeah. So going from there, let's get into these characters, man. We got our main guy, Sante. It is the monk's name, man. He's Liu. What's the other part? Whatever.
UD.
I'm gonna just call him Sante for now. So he becomes that Sante, or I think they kind of say it Santo, but it's cool because, like I said, this guy's coming in. He's kind of on board with this whole rebel thing, but not necessarily fully involved. But what happens is, after the attempt to assassinate the Manchu's leader, they come to the school and just start rounding up people and killing them. Anyone who has any remote connection to the resistance, even if you just were, you know, like, yeah, right on, you know, it's not actively.
You just say, I don't like the general.
Yeah.
They're taking you out.
Yeah, so he actually was in class one day and they come through and the teacher buys them some time and actually gets taken out himself, you know, as some of his buddies get killed. And in the process, Santo, he gets injured and he runs through the forest, just generally trying to escape. And then he gets this idea to head to Shaolin, you know, in order to seeking refuge and seeking training so he could come back and round up a force to counteract these Manchu.
Because he realizes that they're defenseless. It's not that they don't have the heart to fight. They just really don't know how.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and he wants to bring something new to the table, where I thought that was just really inventive for his character, for him to just aspire to be better in every way. Like, he's like, man, what the Manchu dynasty, what they have over us, we can't beat that. We got to come with a different approach.
And I think that motivates him when he gets to Shaolin, because the other guys, they're casually learning, but he's going at it with a fury because he has a definite goal. His goal isn't spiritual enlightenment, man, or just, hey, this will be good for me. Nah, he wants to go back and really help his people. So he has that fire burning inside him. And I think that's so cool to see that play out, you know, as we get through his journey. Like, he's on it. He's determined, man.
That's what I'm saying.
And he's easy to root for because of that.
Just real quick while we're on these characters, you know, shout out Lau Li, who plays General Tin Ta, and he is the general of the Manchu dynasty, and pretty much the orchestrator of the evil in this little village. And it's not that he's a good guy, or it's not that he plays a good bad guy. That's what I'm saying. He's not a good guy. I'm not like, hey man, this guy's a great guy. No, but
he's great, man.
He plays a good bad guy.
I love him in this, man.
Yeah,
because even when we first meet him, he just has that sense of authority and just that rage with him. Because like after the ambush, he corners the rebels, yo, and he's like he sees them fighting, and one of them standing out, man. I forgot the guy's name, but he's putting up a good fight against the general soldiers, and he's like, and he jumps off. He's like, "You're worthy of a general. Fight with me, one to one, man to man." And I think that's from the Rawhide song on the old Dirty Bastard album. Like that quote is played before that song drops, and he's effective. He's a badass, bro. He's whooping ass, man, taking no prisoners, and I guess he's responsible in this area to handle the orders that are coming in from the bigger Manchu leadership.
Yes,
you know?
and to continue, like you said, making sure that people don't buck the system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If they do in any way, shape, or form, you got to get 86. The dude that actually fought him back, that was Lau Kar-leung, General Yin, and that was actually the director of the film.
That's cool, man. So that's cool. Yeah.
And another thing I love about the bad guys in the old school kung fu movies, especially this one, no different. They are really good at talking shit.
Yeah, he's
good at talking shit. And then when you confront them on their shit talking, they bust your ass. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, he took out all the rebels in one swoop.
Yeah, man. And then it's crazy. Like, he's just killing everybody. That's their whole thing. Like, human life is not precious in this era. He's great, man. Another character I really like, there's a lot of monks that are training, you know, as we get later into the film with these different chambers and Santo when he goes to Shaolin. But one that stands out to me really big is, I can't remember his name. I don't even know if we can get his name in the movie, but there's a monk in there that you know, Santo's moving up the ranks and he gets to the maximum. He learns all the chambers. And they're saying, what do you want to do? You could become second in command at any of these chambers. And this one monk stands up and he's like, hey, buddy, you know, like my man's moving up a little too quick. We haven't, like, he's advanced every time he was up for a promotion. He got it. Like we got to make sure that this guy's ready for action. And I love this guy, man. He's so cool and smooth. At first, you're thinking he's a hater, but I love him because he's one that's holding these guys to the rules. Because for some reason, I think Santo's ambition has been a source of excitement for these habits and these trainers. Like, you could tell it on their faces, bro. They come to life. It's like, my routine is mundane, but now I got this student that's crazy, that's an animal. It's like being a coach, and now all of a sudden I got Wembanyama on my team. You know what I'm saying? I got something to work with now.
His passion radiates. That's the thing. When you radiate that kind of energy, the people around you, they feel it. And you know, and you're right. The other monks, it's almost like it's not that they're encouraging him, but they want to see him win. They have their pick of the litter, their fan favorite.
They just called him Discipline Chief. That was his name, and he's played by, and his name was actor's name was Hoi Sang Lee. You know, that's crazy. Discipline Chief. It's not even on You know,
I mean, every other dude on the cast list is Abbott. So,
Right. And this thing takes place, I mean, I guess it's a Chinese province, so what's cool about it, we do get what we used to seeing in these films. And this film is mostly done on sets, man. I got an idea. I mean, I just looked into the whole Shaw Brothers. This is a Shaw Brothers production. And they had a really huge compound at one point where they were filming these films. And they had a bunch of sets, sound stages. And they said at one point they were doing several films a week, filming simultaneously in the studio. You know what I'm saying? And there's a few points where in this film where I think in the mostly toward the end where they're actually outside of the sets, you know, so they're out in, you know, China in the countryside, you know, and you can see there's a difference in the cinematography too. But I think it's cool getting these locales. You see the temples, you see the buildings. I love the fact that later on in the film, once Santo comes back, he messes with the rice farmer, and they have a little headquarters themselves, which is right next to the Manchu general's palace, you know. So they're just sitting there looking at him all day, like, all right, we're gonna come up with our plan. But it's cool seeing that stuff in the video, especially toward the final fight. We're on this mountainside in the countryside of China.
It's really cool. It feels like they can kind of take us to that point in time, like where we're seeing like feudal Japan, or you know, this ancient Asian, you know, landscapes. You know what I'm saying? Because we see a lot of it, especially like for me, when I see like the certain animes, you know what I'm saying, like they really kind of high point that, but to see it in live action, like, it still has a fantasy element to it. Like it feels majestic.
And I think because of those sets, like it gives a distinct look to these films that the Shaw Brothers were putting out at the time, including this one.
But it's presented as like real time, right now, places that are given to us. So it's like, it's really cool that they can cross thread the realism and the fantasy aspect. And then also, like you said, when it comes to these set pieces, you cannot talk about this movie without talking about the chambers. And so watching him go through these.
Well, you got to explain the chambers.
Oh yes,
first.
Absolutely. So that's why I was gonna say.
So what are the chambers of Shaolin?
So pretty much the chamber. Each chamber is a certain element of kung fu that you need to master before you can become a kung fu master. So like, you know, like one might focus on your sight, one might focus on your balance, one might focus on your strength, your punching ability, your sword play, you know, so there's, you know, and then like
it gets wild, man. It's almost like Daniel San's wax on and wax. Each one is meant to develop a certain skill or aspect of yourself that will help you become a better overall fighter.
Yes. And the thing is, what's wild is because these are Shaolin monks and they are tranquil, they are peaceful people, but they are also like weapons of mass destruction with their fists. It's so cool that you see this. Like they are the ones you don't want to mess with. And I love how like everything, like it's a pecking order. So like the very first chamber is pretty much, it's presented to you and you might not even realize you're in a chamber at all. So it's like there's this pool with these logs in it, and you have to cross the little pool, and then you enter the mess hall so you can eat, but you cannot be wet. You cannot be, you know, dirty in any ways. So Santo is watching all the monks kind of like just like kind of bop over the little log and stuff. He can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And then and the thing is that if you're wet, you can't eat and stuff like that. And I love that chamber because what that does, like I said, this is the fork in the road for him. This is very difficult for him. And he realizes that it's not how he has to deal with the challenge that's presented to him, is how he has to deal with himself to put himself up to the challenge to be able to beat it. You got to put the work in. So he's in there like balancing on barrels and stuff, all frustrated, doing dishes and balancing on stuff. And he gets to the point where, you know, he's just straight jumping over the pool. And every time the abbot sees him trying to like go cheat the system, he makes it harder. So he gets to the point where he breaks all the logs. And
so hold up. Just give him one, because he actually figures out that first log thing. And I love that part because after he's sleeping, he kind of styles on him a little bit. He does the kid and play, jumps over the joint. Yeah. And so then everyone is like, yeah, Santo. So then the next day, everyone comes back to the joint and he splits the log bundle. And now they're just individual logs and everybody's falling in. So they got to relearn it all over again. So it's like some of the chambers have just one obstacle, but this one has stages of
Yes.
the challenge, you know?
Yes. Yes.
That's kind of cool.
And
man.
that is really cool because, you know, and this also, it shows how important balance is when it comes to fighting.
Yeah, that was definitely a balance chamber. But I do like the fact, too, before he even gets back to this one, they asked him, where do you want to start? And he was like, I want to start at the highest level.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because he goes in and you see just guys just boom, Buddha, and they're meditating.
Yeah, exactly.
And honestly, that's what it reminds me of Ninja Turtles, man. When you get back to that scene in Ninja Turtles when Splinter's like, they conjure, they have a little seance, they're sitting around meditating and his spirit performs and he praises them. He's like, you guys have mastered the final art. And he's like, true mastery comes not from the body, but of the mind.
Yeah,
and I think that's what that chamber was representing, because he was like, I want to go to the first, and he don't know what the hell's going on. He's like, I want to learn the first. And my man looks at him and is just like, who? Yeah, my man's 30 feet away from him, goes like this, and my man goes flying. He
breaks my man's seance. He's like, hey, I want you to teach me Kung Fu.
yeah. Like, what? Like, what? It's like, you're not even ready for this. You don't even know what you're dealing with.
Because they are at the highest pinnacle. They are at the point where they know everything.
Yeah.
And this is where, you know how to do all these things, but you find that inner peace, the enlightenment.
I love the part where the one monk is, I guess it's his turn to recite whatever the word, and he fucks up. He can't remember the words, like, and they send him back to the end of the line. And I'm like, yo, these dudes might be spending years doing this craziness, man.
Everybody in the chamber was old as fuck. So you spent a lifetime trying to get to the 35th.
So I love the fact, I think the balance chamber is cool, but then the next chamber about that, it seems to be about strength. I love, man, they're carrying the water, right? So they carry the water like this, but underneath their arms are blades.
You got
knives. So if the weight of the water gets down, you're stabbing yourself in the side. That's amazing. But then I love how the music and everything combines with, as he's learning these chambers, because all of a sudden, my man's got the buckets out. He's running up the ramp.
He's helping somebody almost falls backward. He kicks him up, kicks him into the jump.
Yeah. And then when he gets to the thing, he's like,
And then it's funny because the teacher's like, hey, this is an individual challenge. You can't be out here helping your brothers. Go to the next chamber.
Yeah. At first he thought he was like, get out of here. You know, he was like, oh, damn, I got to leave. Yeah. He's like, go to the next chamber.
And it's cool because like that's how they're advancing them. They're not saying, hey, you did a great job. You now level up. They're saying, all right, now you disgraced this chamber. Now move on to the next.
It's fun. It's fun because I think some of the challenges get a bit ridiculous, but it's still fun because you're rooting for him. Like when he gets to the vision chamber.
Me, I was about to say, dude, the fifth chamber. The fifth chamber is the wildest one, bro, because this one tests your eyesight, right? So what they do is they put you in this thing, kind of looks like a vice grip, and next to your face are two of the biggest incense ever in life. They're big as the house, almost like a chugabug, the size of these incense. And so you gotta follow this light without moving your face, and when you move your face, it hits the incense, so you burn your cheeks up.
And it was funny because the abbot's got this candle, so he's like, follow this thing with your eyes. And then he starts going faster, and then all of a sudden he's like, and then my man's like, it stops him. It's amazing, man. But see, what was your favorite chamber, man?
For me, I want to say it was the eyesight chamber, just because after you get past the ridiculously of these huge incense and seeing how it happens, he gets to the advancement stage of this chamber, and what he does is he has this little spinny wheel. He has a candle that reflects these lights, and then there are all these other.
Because he has when he's done, he gets like a gleam in his eye. The abbot has.
The dragon, you see it in the last dragon, man.
But then. The crazy part is later on he has a fight, like after he comes back from Shaolin, he has a fight and these dudes they got
weapons and he's seeing the glare.
And it's like it's like everything that he learns, they found a way to show in the fights later.
He has to he's spinning all these logs and they got these little mirrors and the lights reflecting and he's gotta go hit all the logs. And, I mean, dude,
my favorite one was the CTE chamber, bro. That's what I call it, because there's another chamber where they got these. It looks like heavy bags. A row of heavy bags, and you got to go through. So, boom, he like this, and you just headbutt the hell out of this shit all the way through. And dude, it's so hilarious because a couple hits, and he's like, ah. Yeah. And I love when they kept falling out. He falls on the ground on his head because it hurts so much. and their head is all bruised. And then the abbot in that chamber, he's got this crazy callus on his forehead. Dude, it's hilarious.
I love the abbot in this because the thing is like Santee, he comes in, he's like, it's obvious. I'm not gonna bang my head. I duck, and then from a distance, about 15 feet away, the abbot, he's got this little hand. A homie don't play that, smack you in the face hand from a distance. So he's smacking him in the face 15 feet away. He's like, you got to keep your head up, your bag level.
It's hilarious.
Run through the bag.
Here's the craziest part. So bro, they're just banging themselves. Everyone's just like, and it's like I call it the CTE chamber. They gotta be getting concussed, man. Gotta be. And then at one point he falls out, and I love my man's hand though. I don't know. It looked like it was made out of leather or shiny leather.
Something.
And he's using
it's a little hand.
Yeah, he's using it to handle them.
It looks like the little hand, from like, what was it?
Nah, that's what ain't little, bro. Because he smacked the shit out of someone with that. He's like, get back in line, go back. And I'm like, yo, these dudes is getting major head trauma. It's the funniest one. So, but then he tells me, he's like, yeah, it takes most people 2 years. I'm like, 2 years of banging your head against this heavy bag every day? That's crazy. But then it charges him up. So I like when he comes back and he's just like, pow, then the music ramps up. It's
he's banging
amazing,
the bags like a goat now. He's like hitting it. Yeah, whoa, give me the incense.
But speaking of Rocky, it has that effect. It's like when Rocky did the jog when he was running he was running along the pier and he's like, this movie has that effect when you're watching those scenes, man.
I love it. After
dude.
he surpasses the CTE chamber, we find out that those are the 4 basic skills that you need to have before you can even get taught anything.
Before you get to after that, then he gets to the fighting.
Yeah, and those 4 chambers take him 2 years to accomplish.
Yeah,
and they still
which is still a record pace for them. They said
he's out here. He's Frank Dukes in these chambers like it's blood sport.
It's like it takes most people. It takes most people 5, I think, to get to start learning how to fight.
That's why you see there's a significant age difference between him and everyone else in the chambers, and like he's moonwalking through these chambers backwards.
Yeah,
and so
and I think that's why the disciplined monk speaks up. He was like, yeah, this guy's like, it's great what he's doing, but also what are his motivations? And I think they entertained him because they genuinely thought he wanted to learn. They didn't know, like, we don't get into that until later once he gets through everything.
But I mean, he's doing it for a higher cause. But the thing is, it's really cool because it takes him the 2 years to get the basic knowledge, then it takes him another 4 to get through the rest of the chambers to reach all the way up to the 44th chamber where he does have to have the square up with the one dude with the sword.
I love that scene, bro. That's some of the best fights in the movie.
At this point, might as well get into the martial arts because at this point, this is where we see that he's so good at his craft and he is fully embracing the Shaolin lifestyle that he can't beat his teacher. He can't do this, serving him up with the sword.
Because it's funny because this is the last thing. Like I said, they were about to give him a position, with the chamber. Pick any chamber. You'll be in charge of that. And you'll be able to eat in that room. You don't got to run through this damn.
You don't got to run through this. Yeah, it's pretty much like you got promoted to almost the highest level. You're like not CEO, but you're president kind of thing. And he cannot beat the guy. And then
there's some cool chambers too because the weapon chambers are so dope too, man. Once he finally gets into the chambers, and I think that's where this film has a real charm to it, man. When you see the teachers really start gravitating toward him, and they love because he's giving, not only is he challenging himself, he's challenging them.
Yeah,
and that's awesome.
He is, and I mean, but like I said, he's fully embracing everything, and like you just see when it all comes to full circle. He has all this knowledge and this know-how, but what separates him is he also has a level of inventiveness because he's doing this for a higher purpose. Like when he can't get past the dude, he's out in like the bamboo field. He's frustrated. And
I love that, man.
He can't beat him with the staff, even though he's dope with the staff.
The disciplined abbot is crazy. Yeah, he's so nice with it.
So he's out there and he's trying to figure out how can I beat this dude? And he's out in the bamboo fields, and then he makes the 3-part nunchucks. And he's like, all right, you know what? I got a weapon now that I might be able to use to my advantage because it's something that they've never seen before. Even the abbots are like, yo, what is he fighting with? He's like, I don't know, some sticks he made up with.
See, but how cool is the disciplined abbot though? Because the first fight, it's like, boom, he's hitting him. He's got the blades. If you ever seen the Wu-Tang, I think it's was it Protect Your Neck? where Massacre has the last verse and he's got those two swords. He has the same blades, and he's like, wow, wow, wow. And you see it. I love the music. Everything about this is great filmmaking. It has a score, and the score is used so effectively. Like during that fight, you see him touch the blade to Santo's skin. Yeah. And he could have cut him, but he's using the backside mostly just to show that, like, yo, this would have been a strike. And it's like, dun! And it's like, dun!
At the end, he's like, yo, how many times did I touch you? He was like 17. He said, bro, if we weren't training,
he's like, this is a real fight, you would have been dead
17 times. I'd have killed you.
You know, so yeah, and I love that, man. I think they have 3 fights total, and then the third one, he comes with the sticks. It's like a triple nunchuck. Yeah. It's crazy.
And the way he's using it. I mean, so you just see that, like, at this point, he is a master of his craft in his own right. And it's cool because, like I said, he's also bringing something to the temple that the abbots haven't seen because he's purpose driven, because he knows that this is mandatory. He's not seeking enlightenment. Yeah, here. Man. He's not doing this for himself. It's not for personal gain. It's for personal knowledge so he can then share the knowledge to the masses. Yeah. You know, and that's what's so cool about all these chambers, because after he does reach the highest pinnacle, he's given 3 days to decide what chamber he wants to run. And he comes back and he's like, bro, I want to invent a 36 chamber, hence the title of the film. And he's like, this is a chamber where we teach the masses basic kung fu so that they can defend themselves against their oppressors. Like that is so serviceable and so righteous of him. Like the abbot, even though he can't say
it's a selfless act, in a way.
And the abbot can't say, "Oh yeah, I'm totally with that." So he kind of
has can't.
To.
That's against their rules.
Yeah, he has to skirt the line. Yeah, they don't. So he's like, what is it you wanted to do? And dude tells him again. He's like, "Oh, you talk back to me disrespectfully. Now we have to."
He shuts it down, and Santo's kind of bucking back. And I love that scene too. And he's like, yo, and he tells just discipline Abbott to made out the punishment. He's like, yo, you got to go out and be a beggar, and we'll call for you when we're ready.
So which is crazy to me. He needs to do what he needs to do. You know what I'm saying? Like he's kind of giving him. He's giving him the leash so he can go out and spread the word, but let him know he's got a home to come back to.
Well, nah, you can't come back till we call you back. So who knows how long that's going to be? 5 years, 20 years?
Keep spreading the word.
20 years.
Keep teaching the kung fu.
I don't know.
I
don't know if they granted him permission to teach it, but they just said come back. But he does anyway, which I like at the end.
They said we ain't going to stop you from teaching.
So there's an interesting too. There was a sequel to this film that I haven't seen. So now I think it is also on Amazon Prime, and I think I'm going to track it down and watch it to see what
the return of the 36 chamber.
See that, which is the name of Old Dirty Bastards album.
And then the last one is Disciples of the 36 chamber.
Okay. So
we got that too. Yeah.
But man, like I said, man, this martial arts is high level, man. This has some of the best choreographies, especially the battle with him and the abbot. It's amazing. And also, I would think after he leaves Shaolin, there's a couple of other great fight sequences where he incorporates everything that he's learned.
I was just about to say, I love when he first ventures off, when he goes to the graveyard to pay his respects to his lost father and his lost comrades from before he went to Shaolin. He uses everything. You see him, he's out there like seeing the lights glimmer off the sword. He's like, oh, ping, ping, ping. And then he picks up a stick, because from 15 feet away, you gotta have the strong wrist to bang the gong.
Because the guy comes at him with the bow staff and he grabs the stick and he's just handling because that was one of the chambers. He's like, man, you ain't nothing. Let go, bro.
And then the hand-to-hand combat. What I love about this martial arts in this movie,
doing with this?
It's so fluid. It looks so crisp, so clean.
Man.
Like it's so perfectly executed. Like
some of the best stuff they've done in this era,
it's like
dude.
Water. And I love the fact that they know that they're going to present this in this kind of fashion, because when the film first starts, they're showing us the actor, what's his name, Gordon Liu, doing these different formations and these different techniques at the beginning of the film. Like he's got the weighted wrist ring, and then my man's uppercutting the waterfall and doing all this stuff. I mean, it looks so cool. You can tell that he not only is he doing this for the film, but he knows this in real life. I think that he really practiced.
Oh no, he was a beast, man. And he was in a lot of really dope stuff. Because Gordon Liu was a beast, man. He was in so many of these movies, Executioners of Shaolin and Wu-Tang.
Yeah,
Like,
and I think he's in something, Return of the White Lotus or something like that. There's something that kept coming on. I was watching this on Prime, and that movie kept getting suggested. I'm probably gonna watch that when I get home. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to this martial art, I love that it shows a lot more than just the hand-to-hand combat too. I mean, we get the hand-to-hand stuff, but the way they use the weapons and everything. But like I said, it captures the essence. It shows that it's so much more than just fighting ability. It's the way you live your life, the mental aspect, and how even though you know how to throw your hands and you know you can kick 85% of people's ass in the room that you're sitting in, you present yourself in a peaceful manner. Be tranquil with it. You know what I'm saying?
It was so inspirational. Like, there's a Virtual Fighter 5. There's a character looks just like Santo in this movie, bro. He's got the 6 dots on his head. Yep. And the same outfit, man, the same fighting style. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, and like you said, I mean, this, when it comes to the impact and the influence that this film had on not even just like, you know, the genre, but just a widespread, like you said, in the music. I mean, they took clips from this in the 36 Chambers, Wu-Tang's first album, and then the Return to the 36 Chambers with Dirty Bastard. They used the clips with in Tikal and the Method Man joint, what was it? Massacre Chef. We got, so I mean, Wu-Tang, I mean, they pretty much created everything that they embodied from, you know, films like this, and this film, you know, right off out the gate. So, you know, and it works for them because it was something unique and original to the hip hop industry as well. You see what I'm saying? Just like this was something unique and original in the genre.
I don't see how you can watch this film and not get inspired, man. It's that good, dude. Like I said, I've called this the Chinese Rocky, man.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? And they just did a great job all together putting this thing together. The fight sequences are dope. My only complaint really probably would be the last fight with the general, where it just feels so cut short so abruptly. I was like, yo, what happened, yo? Did they lose some footage? And they just had to, you know, figure out. But dude, it's just a culmination. It's like similar to Rocky, man. All this training and stuff culminates to the final fight. And it's just beautiful, man, just to watch it all go down. It's a story that makes you feel like, man, I'm going to the gym on Monday.
It's inspiring, bro. And I think, you know, one thing, when the final fight, it was a little on the shorter side, but I think it's because, for me personally, it was bigger than that. Like, he overthrew the general. He got past the general.
Yeah, the general was nice against regular people, but he wasn't Shaolin. He wasn't this. He wasn't this good.
This was so much bigger than the general. Getting the general out of the way but that was just step one. It's now, you know, convincing the masses to be open to this new way of living and this training and all the stuff that's going to go into all the work that's going to be needed to be done to accomplish the goal. That's what this film is all about. It's just pushing past the challenges, rising to the occasion, and persevering. You know what I'm saying? And whatever your purpose is, you know what I'm saying? We all do things for different reasons. We're all motivated by different things, but whatever it is, you know, put that fuel in the tank and push. You know what I'm saying? That's what this film makes me feel like every time I watch it, man. Like you said, it is inspirational. It is good, man. This is a high energy watch.
I love this, man. I might probably go through this at least once a year, man. It's on my deck. Definitely grab this for the low, man. It's out there. You get these on Amazon. What's dope about this is got so much stuff in here, man. You got an interview with Gordon Liu. You also got, a mini doc about Shaolin. It's also got commentary with RZA, which is really crazy on this, man, from the Wu-Tang Clan. And he talks about his experience watching this film on 42nd Street back in the day with Old Dirty Bastard. And it's cool seeing the scene, giving his insight and his, what stood out to him, which is crazy because he also ended up becoming the score. He did the score of Kill Bill, which Gordon Liu, has a role in, so that's kind of cool that this thing comes full circle like that. But it's a really good get, man. You should have this in your collection, bro.
And don't forget, you get the music video of Gravel Pit, which is one of the wildest Wu-Tang videos where they're in like Bedrock and Bedrock, Flintstones and stuff.
It's a wild thing, man. It's crazy.
Has nothing to do with this movie at all.
I think we could probably wrap, man. Outside of that, man, definitely go see this. Right now, it is streaming on Amazon Prime Video, as well as other films from the Shaw Brothers collection, man. So Amazon and probably Tubi are some great resources if you want to go back into this era of Chinese martial arts filmmaking, man.
Dude, like I was saying, man, I put this in the prime, and there is such an extensive catalog that are coming. Not just other Gordon Liu films, but like you said, films in this likeness.
Yeah.
There is a lot. Like there's this one I'm going to check. It's called Dragon Fist. Got the girl, the young lady in it. I don't know what her name is, but I'm gonna check it out too.
Yeah, man, awesome, man. Great time watching this film.
Yes.
I love it, man. Just go check it out if you haven't seen it. If you've seen it, watch it again.
Yes.
You know, just to remind yourself of the greatness that is the 36 Chambers. Is also listed in some places as Massacre, which I think is where the rapper of Wu-Tang Clan, Massacre, got his name from, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but I think it's time to wrap this, folks, man. We're going to be out of here. You could check us out anywhere. We on Instagram. We on TikTok. We right here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications, man. Put a little bit. Give us a little donation if you're inclined to. Or you could join, you know what I'm saying, if you want to help us that way. And you might get access to some stuff early before it hits the main feed for everyone else. And we're going to be back soon, man. You can catch me at Monkey Blood on Twitter and Instagram.
Yes. We cast a wide net. You can't catch me in that. You can catch me on the next show. It's Bobby Blockbuster. Woo.
All right, peace, man.